Biggs, I have prepared a little bit of a game show. Would you like to play along with the audience?
Sure.
This is called, and all of you at home get to play watching live in the chat. It's called the Florian Game Show. Basically, what I've done is I asked a bunch of personal questions to Florian and I got his answers. And then I wrote answers to the questions myself, pretending to be Florian. And I also made a Chat GPT bot with all of Florian's characteristics, and I had Chat GPT also answer these questions as Florian. So it will be up to Biggs and the audience to guess which is the real Florian answer and which one's not. What do you think, Biggs?
Sure. Let's do it.
You're a big Florian fan, right? You know all about the man, so
I
this will be
think
easy for you.
I think I might be able to pick out which one you made. I don't know if I'll be able to pick out his between the AIs though.
And for the chat, it's just going to be like question one, A, B, and C. So pay close attention and remember the answer that you're going for. So I guess we will begin. Question number one. What is Florian's greatest life achievement in the last 10 years? Because otherwise it would just be the Binding of Isaac. He wanted me to be very specific about that. Answer A. Answer A. I lost 50 pounds, baby. Fighting the obesity epidemic one meal at a time. I changed several bad habits, started eating healthy, more veggies, less carbs and meats. I started doing way more sport. I've been going to the gym for more than a year now, and recently I've gone hiking way up in the mountains. Hiking upwards for 6 hours. Burning around 3,000 calories in the process. And lastly, I've actually started fasting. It's actually not that hard to go without food for an entire day. So I am really happy that I am finally in control of my own weight. Or weight. Okay, that's A.
That sounds like AI.
Okay, here's number two. Ah, my dear friend, beyond the realms of the Binding of Isaac and my podcast chaos, I'd say my proudest moment was erecting my eclectic empire of eccentric estates. Being a landlord, oh damn, it's like crafting a symphony of solitude, ensuring my hermit heart thrives within these walls.
That one's the AI then. The first one's gotta be yours.
And the final option, option C, that was option B. And don't be fooled by Biggs, okay? What does he know? I'll let you guys vote in one moment. Option C. One time, by mistake, I double booked 2 dates with 2 different sugar babies, but I convinced them to both go on a date with me at the same time. I was the only man in the restaurant with 2 beautiful women at the same time. I even asked the waiter to take a photo of us together, and I keep it as my desktop background on my programming computer. So Biggs, I'm gonna ask the chat for question one while you percolate your answers here.
Yeah, I'm feeling like A is you, B is AI, C is Florian.
Okay, the poll is there. So you think the story of Florian booking 2 sugar baby dates and taking both of them on the date is his greatest achievement in the last 10 years.
Yes.
And so far, the chat agrees with you, with C having 53% of the vote, B having 17, and A having 29 right now. And it keeps climbing.
Well, we currently have 170 viewers, so hopefully everybody's voting.
Yeah, only 50 people have voted, but that's fine. It's a little complicated. I'm just glad anybody's participating. Should we call it now? Because we don't want to wait all day. We have plenty of questions to go through, and I have millions of paragraphs.
It seems like it's stagnated. So.
Okay, so half the audience says C, Big says C. The actual correct answer was A. Florian losing the weight was his greatest achievement. He's proud that he's going hiking and shit. I'm the one who wrote the sugar baby question or answer.
Dang it. Got him backward.
So if you guessed A, you are winning, and everybody else in Bigs are losing. Ready for question 2. What is Florian's most embarrassing moment? Option A. Oh, the cringe-worthy memories, my friend. Picture this. I ventured outside my hermit haven, aiming to impress a lass, only to trip over my own shoelaces, crashing like a fallen star. The laughter, the humiliation, it's a moment that still haunts me. A hermit stumbled in the spotlight. Oh, damn. That's option A. Option B. I am still embarrassed by my lack of preparation for the Ukraine debate. My opponent was a literal white supremacist Nazi who talked a bunch of retarded nonsense. But I didn't prepare any good talking points and fumbled a lot with my rebuttals. I should have easily won that debate. And option C. I lost 70,000 euros speculating on GameStop. I knew it was a huge gamble and I only used money I was fine without. But sure is embarrassing. I knew the stock would drop back down to reasonable standards, but I thought it might go up a little before then. I wanted to just buy and sell on the same day and make a nice profit, but nope. That was the day it dropped. I knew I took the risk. Lose half the money or double it, equally likely. I thought I could make money off those idiots actually believing in the squeeze, but I was actually the idiot that time. That is option C. I'm going to type it in, Biggs. What are you thinking of these?
I'm guessing C. I think B you wrote and A was AI.
Okay, talk me through it. Because I got to type. Biggs, you're a moderator. Can you type this while I'm reading them, maybe? Will it let you do a poll?
How do you do the polls?
Down where you would type into the chat underneath, there should be like a plus with a circle around it.
No.
Okay, maybe it's just for me.
I can add emojis.
Okay, 58% of the audience is on B, which was the Ukraine debate option. But now it's basically a tie between B and C. Nobody thinks it was A, really. They're at 5% for A.
A's got to be AI.
You don't think that him stumbling while taking a walk out of his hermit home into the spotlight might have been correct? No. You think he lost 70,000 euros on GameStop over losing a debate about Ukraine?
For some reason, I thought I saw him like complaining about it. I don't know why that memory is in my head, but I don't know. I'm going to base it off of that, so I voted for C.
Okay, the majority of the audience is going with B, which is the Ukraine debate. Biggs went with C. The correct answer was C. The GameStop money loss was correct.
I had a feeling I had heard him like complaining about it, so yeah, makes sense.
Okay, so Biggs, keep track. You have 1 point. The audience, because if we're just gonna go with the audience majority, they're still at 0. So you're fighting the audience right now, and you're winning.
All right, let me type this out because I was keeping track of my points, but I'll keep track of theirs now too. So audience also won 1, lost 1. Okay.
Wait, did they win the last one? I thought they were 0 and 0.
Did they? What was the last one? Let me see.
Nobody got the first one, and then
right.
So you're winning 1-0. Okay, so question number 3. What is Florian's biggest regret? My biggest regret is that I took so much time off of work after Isaac that I didn't get any games done. And when I started doing good work again, I was held back by perfectionism and didn't realize that many of the games I started working on were too ambitious and nearly impossible for me to complete. I really wish I would have focused more on work and pounded out more successful games. Now there is so much competition in the market, and I fear my new games might not perform well at all. I could have made 10 games in that time. But not to worry, I am back to getting a lot of work done, and I am sure I will release some great games soon. That is option A. What do you think, Biggs? Does that sound realistic?
It almost sounds too real. Like I feel like that's something you would have wrote
He did
to
have Ball
throw us
Frog come
off.
out, so he has other games after Isaac.
I'm waiting until I hear the other two because I feel
Okay.
like you could have written that to throw us off.
Okay, here's option B. All regrets, my friend. We all have a few, but if I must pick one from my treasure trove of contrarian experiences, it would.
Oh man, this one's tough. I don't know what this is.
It would be not seizing the chance to collaborate with a peculiar indie developer years back. Their fucky ideas resonated with my soul, but alas, I let the opportunity slip through my fingers. It's a reminder that sometimes, oh damn, embracing the eccentric can lead to unforeseen brilliance. You think that might have been Florian?
It could be. Could be.
And the last one. I regret every time I wasted my money. I made bad investments in a few stocks and then sold on the loss because I was convinced it would only continue to drop in value. And then it obviously skyrocketed back up after I lost my money. I also purchased a property that got damaged by a fire and the insurance didn't cover the full cost of repairs, so I lost a few thousand on that as well. That is option C. I'm going to type these in while Biggs chats them out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with C again. I feel like you wrote A to throw us off, but C sounds on par.
Okay.
Because I know there have been times where I had streamed a game with him and he would complain about poor investment choices. So
Okay, I'm doing the poll. And again, those options. A was video games after Isaac. B was not getting with the quirky indie developer. And C was bad investments and fire. Okay, Biggs thought it was C. Right now,
it's gotta be C.
C is leading the poll, but A is like 3% behind. So they're split on A and C. I don't know why. There's always one that nobody thinks it is. I don't know why. I thought they were all three equally likely.
Yeah, yeah.
Florian would never admit to A. I'm starting to think it's the least likely one usually. Well, should we end the poll now with it 47% being C?
I think the highest we've gotten this was 65 votes. So yeah, you could probably call it.
Oh, it's 1 percentage off now between A and C, so it gives them a chance to win or lose a point. I guess we'll go with C. That's what you said anyway, right, Biggs?
Yeah.
The correct answer was A, the video game
Are you
complaint.
serious?
I swear to God, Biggs, I wouldn't lie in this game.
Ugh.
Yeah, I tricked you guys. I wrote, of course, C. I know Florian better than he knows himself, maybe.
Dang it. It sounded so much like him.
Okay. Next one. And should we do, like, I think there's 12 of them. Should we do them all, or should we do, like, half now and save half for next time?
Sure, we can do half next time.
Okay. Because I know people are loving this game. Here's a fun one. Would Florian go vegan for life in exchange for $1 million? Here's option A. I already have millions of dollars. Why would I torture myself for the rest of my existence eating nothing but rabbit food just to increase my wealth by a fraction? Almost all of my favorite recipes include meat. I once tried the Whopper Impossible and it didn't taste like real burger at all. The texture was so bad it wouldn't be worth the money to suffer. That is A. What are you thinking so far?
That sounds like you typed it. That sounds like something.
Florian and I might have very similar opinions on the Whopper
know.
Impossible.
That sounds like you right there.
What? Biggs, how dare you? Okay, here's option 2. Vegan life for $1 million? Ah, my friend. While the azure of wealth dances before me, I must
Why is it always B? Why is the AI always
What are
B?
you talking about? Biggs, why are you ruining my game? I must confess my carnivorous cravings are a wild beast to tame. The symphony of flavors in the meaty world. Oh, damn, it's a siren's call I can't forsake. $1 million might tempt, but this hermit's heart beats for the taste of the unconventional, you see. That was option B. Here's option C. I would certainly try. I think I could probably go for a few years being vegan. I really hate how veganism works, though. Vegetarianism makes so much more sense. There is just too much that actually comes out of an animal. I guess I'll just try to go with the veganism, and if I fail, I'll just give the $1 million back. No biggie. So, Biggs, of those three, which one do you think is the most real?
I'm guessing C.
What makes
A
you
just
think
sounds
C?
too much like you. B is clearly AI because it always is. This is basically like a 50-50 shot because the AI is always B.
Yeah, I mean, it's not always necessarily B, but the AI is probably making it more 50-50 than usual. Was this number 4? I don't know.
Yes. Yeah, it's number 4. Because I'm 1 and 2 right now.
84% of the audience, 85% of the audience says C, so they agree with you, right, Biggs?
Yeah, I'm gonna guess the next 20 votes isn't gonna change that.
Wow, even the B is getting more votes than A at this point. They thought that the supposed AI was better than my answer. Yeah, correct. It was C. Florian is willing to go vegan for the money.
All right, I'm 2 for 2.
Disgusting.
Audience finally won something.
So it's 2-1 then on question number 4. Maybe we'll do a poll if we should just do the whole thing today. Maybe the audience is having fun.
But then we won't have more fun for next time.
Oh, Biggs, there's plenty. We still have this week. We still have to talk about what's going on the wheel of torture. We've got new suggestions.
Well, no, I'm saying if we do it all, we won't have more to talk about next time with this.
But there's, like I'm saying, there's always something new for the Mumkey and Big Show, Biggs. We'll let the audience vote. People who are here live, they get special treatment. Okay? Even if we haven't gotten a super chat in 5 minutes, you think Biggs's baby can breastfeed without that money? At what point are we going to put on our costumes today, Biggs? Have we made $69 yet?
I have no idea.
Oh.
You have the capability of tracking that. I don't.
True. Okay. What? Next question. Question 5, I believe. What is the most frivolous purchase Florian has made that cost over $5,000? Option A. Oh, let me regale you with a tale of indulgence. I once procured a life-sized functional replica of Excalibur. Yes, the legendary sword of King Arthur, for a sum that would make Midas blush. Displayed it prominently in my hermit lair, a reminder of my taste for the eccentric. As they say, my friend, when life offers the chance to wield a mythical blade, oh damn, who am I to decline? That's option A, Biggs, not option B. That was option A. Are you fuming with rage?
A little bit.
Okay. Hey, Cletus, thank you for the 3 Myanmar dollars. Salo with the $10. Shout out to Wings of Redemption. I think you should say the same, Biggs.
Yep. Shout out to Wings of Redemption.
Remember when I donated 5 to Wings to say shout out to Biggs and he didn't read it because he thought it was making fun of him?
I don't do shout outs.
Yeah. If you were named anything other than Biggs, maybe he wouldn't have been confused.
Yeah.
Okay, option B. During the pandemic, I almost never left my house and ordered delivery food every day. I think the delivery fees and tips added up to well over $5,000 during that time. Does that sound like Florian or sound like you, Biggs?
Could be me, but I was smart enough to get Dash Pass if I was gonna order that much. So
I don't. Do they have DoorDash in Austria? What was he? Maybe he's getting corn pizza delivered at $5,000 per day.
maybe, but it that sounded way more like Florian than A did. So
Okay, and here's option C. I used to have this bad habit where I would just put off some tasks forever, like never doing my homework or whatever. Similarly, the worst part of my job is signing contracts. One time I had to get a contract made for legal reasons, but I procrastinated on it for like half a year. I would always start reading it, then I would have little changes, and then I'd have the lawyer change it. Little did I know the lawyer would charge me 100 euros each time I called them or I asked for changes. So that was one expensive contract. I think it cost up to 8,000. Just having the contract made would have already cost 4,000, so at least I didn't waste the whole amount. I def tried to avoid putting off simple tasks for too long now. That was a long time ago. That is option C, Biggs.
this is tough.
Because, yeah, one of them is AI, one was extremely short, one was extremely long. And the poll is live for the audience.
Oh, I'm not gonna look. What should I go for? C just seems so specific, and I feel like he would be mad about spending money on delivery fees. But also, why would he? I guess. I guess I'll go with C.
See, so the long one about contracts is Biggs' final answer.
Yeah, it's probably wrong, but
And the
I mean,
audience seems to agree. 48% C, 41% B, the food one, and only 11% A, which I don't even remember what they said. What was A? Oh, Excalibur? Yeah, okay. I don't know why 11% of people are voting for that one. The correct answer, of course, was C for contracts. So you both got it right. Biggs and the audience.
wait, no, I'm 3 for 2.
I'm going to do a quick poll. Do we want to do the whole game tonight or half and half, okay?
Well, do you actually have 12 questions, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, because then we can just do one more and then go into the Wheel of Torture stuff.
That's right. Okay, here's another poll for you fine folks at home. Go take a look. James Iron claims to be 4 out of 5, correct? Large Ice Storm says he's 4 out of 5. Right now, a whole game is winning with 60%. Oh, but now it's about half and half, 50%. Biggs, are you excited to watch Survivor when we end the stream?
I have been consistently one episode behind, so.
And the Squid Game finale is tonight as well, so I'm excited to
Well, I
watch
guess
that.
when we end the stream here in 10 minutes, I can go run watch last week's and then watch the new one live.
Biggs,
So.
you think we're ending after an hour? Goodness gracious, Biggs. All right. If we keep doing this the whole game, we'll be here for at least another hour at least. What do you mean?
I guess I'll turn on Survivor on my second
Yeah.
screen.
No, if you want to leave in 10 minutes, I could stay and talk to these fools, Biggs. I don't want to hold you prisoner.
Whole game tonight, half game.
Half game is now winning, actually, 56%.
Yeah, and it's almost up to our max votes, which was 65.
So yeah, maybe we'll just do 6 questions tonight. That might be fine. Give the audience a chance to study Florian a bit.
True.
Which means I think so I should do one more tonight. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I should have 7 more. So yeah, we'll do one more, then it'll be 6 and 6. So I will read off the potential questions, and Biggs, you tell me which one you want to do for the final one this episode. Okay. Option 1, what would Florian wish for if a genie granted him one wish? What's the worst thing that could possibly happen to Florian? Gun to his head, which podcast co-host would Florian be willing to live with for a year? What is the reason Florian left Christianity? Biggs. What is Florian's biggest goal? What is Florian's guilty pleasure? And finally, if Florian had to be reincarnated as an animal, which would he choose? Which one of these questions do you want to conclude today's game with, Biggs?
I think we should do the podcast co-host thing.
Okay.
Who would he live with?
Okay. Final question of the night. And if you get this wrong and they get it right, is the game tied up going into next week?
Yes. If I get this wrong and they get it right, then it's 3-3.
Okay, it's 3-2 right now. Gun to his head, which podcast co-host would Florian be willing to live with for a year? Just pull the trigger. There's no way I could function with a roommate. I spend most of my time half naked because of the heat, and I wouldn't want to be forced to wear clothes all day. But I guess if I had no choice, it would be Hotsy, because he probably never leaves his room. And at least we could watch Breaking Bad together. That is option A. What do you think, Biggs?
That's definitely a contender.
Okay.
I could see him saying he never wants a roommate, and he probably likes Heartsy the most, so.
Okay. Option B. E-Rich. I am fascinated with
Nope.
what his life must be like. I am sure he is very dependable and hardly ever home, always out working one of his many jobs. That's option B.
That does not sound like anybody. It's got to be AI.
And option C. The pressure is on, my friend. If that proverbial gun were to play its sinister part.
Okay, stop reading. Okay.
What? There's a lot more!
No, I don't want to.
I'd begrudgingly choose my most passionate and opinionated co-host, the one who could match my contrarian fervor. Eliza, the connoisseur of quirky cinema takes. Together, we'd engage in a year-long symposium of cinematic chaos, surviving on a steady diet of obscure references and tumultuous debates. Oh, damn, it'd be a whirlwind of contrarian camaraderie. That's C.
How many times did he say contrarian in that?
And they say contrarian and oh, damn in every single one. I told them all of his catchphrases, dude. They know. Okay, so here's poll number 6 for the chat while Biggs tells me what he's thinking.
I don't know. I feel like it has to be A. There's no way. There's no way.
So A was he'd rather be killed than have a roommate, but if he had to choose, it would be Heartsy. B is E-Rich because he's a dependable man and he's fascinating, and C is Eliza. We do have some super chats. We have Ripen Disease for $10 says we got to convince Aggie to let the hair go. I love Aggie, but bro to bro, that hair is nuts. You might be preaching to the wrong guys. Clearly, Biggs and I are fans of the longer hair ourselves, right?
True.
And Confish for 5 says, you guys ever plan on doing another Nuzlocke or Pokemon playthrough? I suggest Pokemon Infinite Fusions. I need more Mumkey Pokemon content. I think the final Nuzlocke re-upload is going up this weekend, and then after that, I might start streaming a Nuzlocke. And I was thinking of doing the Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh version. Have you heard of that, Biggs?
I have not. Sounds
they just
interesting.
they just put Yu-Gi-Oh in as the Pokemon. So you get, Blue Eyes and a Dark Magician Girl and all the classic cards, Karibo and shit. I've been playing it on my phone, and I really love it, and I think it's great. And you never know what's going to evolve into what, but then it always makes sense, and it's really funny. And all the moves that they have make sense and are funny. Like, just the whole thing is, it's interesting.
I'll have to download that. That sounds pretty fun.
Yeah, it's called, like, Yu-Gi Duel. Pokemon Yu-Gi Duel. Gotcha. Nuzlocke is played out. That's fine, Scam Likely. I mean, I put out, 800 different shows a week. You can skip that one. Right now, A has 57%, That was the gun to the head, shoot me, Heartsy one. B has 25, and C has 18. You also said A, didn't you, Biggs?
Yeah.
And I think we're done voting. And the correct answer was B. Florian picked.
There's no
He picked
way.
E-Rich. He said, "I'm fascinated with what his life must be like."
You're lying.
I'm sure he's very dependable. I swear to God. I'm the one who wrote "Just Kill Me."
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Has anybody gotten 6 for 6? I doubt it. This is a
If
hard
they did-
game.
if they
It's
did,
basically
they're
50-50s and people are getting it wrong.
I'm messaging Florian right now.
Go ahead. I'm dead serious. Ami says he got 6 out of 6. Gustavo got 0 out of 6. Maybe Gustavo picked all the AI options.
Could be. They're hard to pick out, that's for sure.
Biggs, when we finish the game next week, should we set up games like this more often? Whose game
For
show should
sure.
I do next?
I think a Heartsy one next would be interesting.
And who should I get? I'll get another person, so there's 4 options maybe, and then other than AI, we can have another human interpret Heartsy's mind.
Another one, interpret Heartsy?
Maybe we should have his girlfriend answer the questions, and she could do a fake Heartsy. That's not a bad idea. If we could do a toot one, somebody said. And the best part is, they don't have to be on the show. So
Right.
we can get the most annoying people. Doesn't affect anything. I just got to do impressions.
True.
Biggs, are you ready for the Florian Game Show, Part 2?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
I think I did enough Florian research to do well today.
In case you don't remember from last week, the Florian Game Show is I asked Florian a series of personal questions, and he answered them. I answered them pretending to be him, and ChatGPT pretending to be Florian also answered the questions, and it's up to Biggs and the audience to vote for which one they think is the real Florian. Now, I have been told that for some people, the YouTube chat Q&A or the polls or whatever, they glitch out and people can't really see what they're voting for. So that might explain why they've been losing so much. People are just randomly clicking.
Sounds like an excuse.
Oxtwar donated for me to talk about the Kuma's backstory in One Piece, but we're gonna have to get to that later, Oxtwar. I'm sure Biggs will remind me. He loves talking about One Piece.
True. I didn't even know that was about One Piece, but yeah.
Didn't even know it was about One Piece. Okay. So the next question in the Florian Game Show, we've already done half of these. We're doing the other half, and I hope I don't repeat one from last time. Have you heard this question, Biggs? Did we do the Genie question? What would Florian wish for if a genie granted him one wish?
I don't think so.
Okay.
We did the first 5 in a row, and then we skipped and did the one about roommates.
Okay, perfect. So, question number 7. What would Florian wish for if a genie granted him one wish? Option A, people. That's the first option. If you can't see the options on the poll, that will come up later. I feel compelled to use this opportunity to make something useful for all of humanity, something everyone could agree with. I'd make it so that all grass is edible by humans. It also has to be delicious and nutritious. That would be the best way to solve world hunger, I guess. Sure hope the genie doesn't twist my wish and make everything else taste disgusting to ruin the outcome. That's option A.
Okay.
Option B. The genie's offer. A moment of pondering for sure. But hear me out, my friend.
It's B again.
I'd wish for a parallel universe where my most contrarian opinions were embraced as universal truths. Imagine it, my every unconventional notion causing nods of agreement and applause. Or damn, a realm where the world dances to my contrarian symphony. That's a wish worth making, wouldn't you say? That's option B.
Tough.
Which one are you leaning towards so far?
I don't know. B is sounding pretty good.
Option C. I would wish that every game I have in mind to create would exist fully functional, and I would pretend I just worked really hard on them and release a new one each year. People would think I'm an indie game god, and my gaming empire would become one of the biggest in the world. That is C. I'm going to put the poll into the chat while Biggs talks about his thoughts.
I'm going to go with A. Because every time his games or something like that came up, it was always you talking about it. So I'm going with A this time.
Okay, the poll is in the chat. A was the one about making grass edible by all humans. B was about a world where contrarian opinions are universal truth. And C was about all of his dream games being made. The chat is voting. It's 42% C with 37% A. About 20% thought it was B. Biggs, do you have any thoughts on the people voting B?
That was a close choice. I almost thought it was B too, so,
Mm-hmm. No, B12 is the vitamin in your favorite drink, Biggs, not B2.
Oh.
Okay, I'm ending the poll at 41% of the audience saying C. Biggs went with A. The correct answer was A. I of course wrote the C about the video games.
Nice. I'm pulling ahead.
So Biggs, you're up to 4 points. The audience is still at 2. Is that right?
Correct. 4-2.
Okay. Next question. Question number 8, I believe. What's the worst thing that could possibly happen to Florian? Here's answer A. I don't want to die before the robot apocalypse happens. I want to see how we get destroyed by our own ambition and create an AI that is superior to us in every way and will easily eradicate us. I don't want to die before that happens. Option A. Here's option B. Oh, you're delving into the depths of potential nightmares, my friend. Picture this, my hermit haven invaded by an army of malfunctioning Roombas, each armed with miniature megaphones blaring my own contrarian podcast opinions in a never-ending loop. The horror, the cacophony, not cacophony, past me. Is it cacophony? Cacophony? Cacophony, Biggs? Do you know this word?
Cacophony. It's cacophony.
It's not cacophony. Okay.
No.
The horror, the cacophony. That's how Florian would probably say it. It's a symmetry of chaos that would surely drive me to the brink. Oh, damn, the thought alone sends shivers down my contrarian spine. That's option B. Option C, Biggs.
Contrarian spine. The AI's really trying, man. It's really trying.
Option C. Imagine if Elon Musk bought Himzel Games in a hostile takeover like with Twitter, and we've all seen how he's ruined every functionality of that website. If I had to be his employee and let his retarded ideas ruin my life's work, I would just kill myself. That was, what's the worst thing that could possibly happen to Florian? I'm going to do the poll. Biggs, what are you thinking?
I'm going with A again. I feel like...
You don't think it was B?
I think you tried too hard on C, and it just ended up sounding too much like you.
Okay, that's what you said last time, though, and you were right. Do you think you could possibly be correct twice in a row?
I think so. And I feel like the audience believes the same, as it's at 72% right now.
Well, to be fair, Florian does hate Elon Musk and bitches about... He does bitch about AI a lot, too.
But
all three of these are pretty much kind of the same idea.
Well, yeah, B is literally AI, so...
Roombas? Yeah. Well, it looks like with only 41 votes, I mean, we could keep going, but 67% agrees with Biggs that it was A, and everybody is correct. It was A, yet again.
Yeah. See, I'm doing better this time.
Hey, you're 2 for 2 so far today.
5 and 3.
Okay, next question.
If I stay at this pace, I'll beat the audience.
Now, Biggs, this one might hit close to home. This question is, what's the reason Florian left Christianity? Now, if I recall, Biggs, you might have found your lady love at a church, and Florian, he's an incel at his heart. He has to pay for sex from these random women.
Is
If
this a hint at the answer?
I'm just saying, do you think, Biggs, you could save Florian's soul, get him going to church? Maybe he'll find a woman to marry like you did, and he won't be such a hermit with these contrarian spinal injuries.
You know, I feel like if he just finds one of those churches that has like a brewery out front, I've heard of those where you
He's
can
not
go
really a
in.
drinker, I don't think.
Are you sure? He's what, Austrian?
Florian is straight edge.
I thought all Austrians were drinkers, though. Well, I guess he'll have to find one connected to a pizzeria then. That might be
Okay.
more up his alley.
Corn pizzeria. Okay, he'll find love there.
I didn't say anything about corn. I just said
Hmm.
pizza.
Okay. What's the reason Florian left Christianity? Option A. The journey of faith, my friend. It wasn't so much a departure from Christianity, but a meandering into the labyrinth of curiosity. The confines of traditional beliefs began to feel like chains restricting my contrarian spirit, so I embarked on a quest to explore diverse philosophies and perspectives. The path less traveled, oh damn, it's where my hermit heart found solace, embracing a tapestry of thoughts beyond the familiar. Thoughts on option A?
Well, more like AI.
Okay. Option B. It's money. They wanted to tax me. I went to some kind of church employee to ask where I could resign from Christianity. Turns out you do that at the magistrate. Like when you tell them you moved into a new location or when you get a new passport. The pastor wasn't happy about me asking about this, though. How did Christianity fail you? Like I was still looking for his guidance. Poor guy. That's option B.
Sounds like you.
You think that's edgy enough to be me? You don't think Florian went up to the pastor and was asked, how did Christianity fail you? Because he didn't want to pay money. That doesn't sound like Florian to you?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, option
Let's
C.
see what C has.
Trick question. I was never a Christian. My parents were both agnostic and never forced any religion on me. As a child, I was interested in Christianity because I heard about the Santa Claus and thought it would be funny for a fat man to sneak into my house and give me presents. But in my teenage years, I realized Santa and Jesus are equally realistic. That's pretty edgy too, Biggs. We got 2 edgelord questions at least, or answers at least. I'm gonna put this in the chat while you give me your thoughts.
C just sounds so much like you, like the way you would talk.
But
But B
all 3
sounds
should
like
sound
how
like
you
Florian.
would-
I'm doing an Austrian accent, Biggs.
I don't know. I think I have to go with B on this one because C just sounded too much like you without even like trying to be Florian.
Okay,
It just sounded like
so
you.
just to be clear, A was something about searching philosophies and perspectives. B was the church was taxing him too much money, and C was he was never a Christian. He just wanted Santa Claus.
Maybe I'll go with C. I don't know. Where's chat?
The chat is currently 52% C, 38% B, only 10% think it's A. You're gonna stick with the chat?
I'm gonna stick with B. I'm probably
B.
wrong, but it sounds too much like you. I just don't want to fall for it again.
And the correct answer was B. The answer about being taxed too much money. That's Florian's real answer. I gave the Santa answer. So the chat was once again wrong.
Nice. 6 and 3.
So can the chat possibly catch up? I think you'd have to get 3 wrong and they'd have to get all 3 right just to tie the game.
Yeah. If I get the next 3 wrong, then they can catch up.
But we'll do all of them anyway just for fun, just to see how far we go. Right, Biggs?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, next question.
It's such a funny reason.
What, good money? He's too cheap to be a Christian?
Too cheap to be a Christian.
Yeah, imagine if he tried to be Jewish, man. Maybe he'd be
He
rich.
maybe he'd love my church because my church is like never telling you have to pay us. They're like,
Your church
if
gives you money.
if you got extra cash, then sure, give it if you want. But that's not the point.
Somebody said that's so stupid. I should expect it from him. Oh, we did have some Streamlabs donations. That's probably why the vest goal is up to $3. Toot said the Kino corner more like the rape victim corner. Atomistic said not to be one of those people, but one of the punishments should be watch one PragerU video. I don't know, Biggs. You want to watch a PragerU video on the wheel of torture?
To be honest, I always forget what side of the aisle PragerU is on, but I just know that they're known for being really cringe.
Okay. And Roblox Miner says, can you put call and apologize to Asperger on the wheel? Now, I don't have his phone number. If I did,
it'd be really funny if I landed on that, or Eggy. And then
you'll apologize for being the superior Brandon. Eggy can apologize for being the better rapper. I mean, I don't know what I would have to apologize for. You guys are the ones who perfected his craft in being a Brandon and being a rapper. Maybe he can apologize to me. That'd be a good call.
I'm just better at Chips Challenge, I guess.
True. We did do that Burger Time episode of Chips Challenge. That is true. Next question, Biggs. What is Florian's biggest goal? Option A. It's to become a modern-day Walt Disney who has a company that outlives me. I want to make games that become so influential in the future of humanity that they shape the way people think about games entirely, like the Disney classic movies did back in the day and even up today. It's tragic that certain co-hosts of the Kino podcast cannot appreciate good Disney and Pixar movies when they come out now. That's option A, Biggs. What are your thoughts? Oh, he's talking about video games. I bet Mumkey wrote this one, folks. Florian himself would never fucking talk about video games. That's absurd.
Tell me with a straight face right now. Did you write that one? Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, go ahead and read B, the
okay.
AI, since 90% of these are AI on B.
Okay, option B.
Contrarian spine injury.
You want me to send it to you and you read it in the accent?
No.
Here, I'm going to have you read this one. You tell me who it is while you read it. Here, it's on Discord, Biggs. Hopefully this doesn't fuck up our call. Okay.
Okay. Oh no. Go ahead and read it.
Do it. I want you to do one.
My grand aspiration, my friend, is to craft a gaming masterpiece that defies conventions even more than the Binding of Isaac. I strive to birth a realm where players question their assumptions, where contrarian design choices lead to a symphony of innovation. Oh damn, it's the pursuit of creating digital universe that sparks discourse and challenges the norm, a legacy that resonates through the ages.
Okay, option B. What are you thinking?
Definitely AI.
He mentioned the video games. Did I write that one too, Biggs? Was that one me?
I've come to the conclusion that if it involves the word contrarian, it's got to be AI.
For the word symphony, for some reason, I don't know why. That's a Florian catchphrase, but I guess he says that a lot.
Not only that, but also the grammar being like near
robotic.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. And option C for what is Florian's biggest goal? I will probably never get around to it, but I once saw a documentary about the biggest hotel in Amsterdam, and I thought it would be amazing to someday own the hotel and live in the executive suite on the top floor. I could give rooms to my employees and continue producing games while making millions of dollars and eating the greatest room service food for free every day. Now, Biggs, that's option C, and you're in a real pickle because all three options talked about video games. You know, your ace in the hole has been blasted. I'm going to post a poll for everybody.
Uh, um,
Room service corn pizza, says Tater Potato.
that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Just to repeat, the first one, he wants to be the Walt Disney of video games. Option B is
I feel
you guys know what option B is.
I feel like it's gonna be C.
Option C is owning a big hotel and making video games while living in the executive suite. Florian, he is a landlord, so it would make sense he wants to own property and whatnot. K Dog Rolling donated $5 to say, "Gotta love the German voices. Do it for the rest of the stream." We will do it at least for the rest of the segment as I'm reading the answers. How's that sound? But thank you, K Dog. Biggs, we need an answer. The audience is at 62% C, 32% A.
I said C.
So Biggs and the audience agree that it's option C. Unfortunately, the correct answer is the Walt Disney option A. I wrote the hotel answer, so
Are
nobody.
You for real?
I'm for real. Nobody gets a point on that one. Heartsy says he has literally told me that he wanted to be the Walt Disney of video games before. Yeah, I think he might have mentioned that on an Is It Kino at some point.
Well, on the bright side, I'm still ahead.
Yeah, there's no way they could catch up at this point.
Yeah.
Well, 2 questions left, Biggs. Which one do you want to hear first? What is Florian's guilty pleasure? Or if Florian had to be reincarnated as an animal, which would he choose?
Let's do the animal one. We'll save the other one for last.
Okay. The wolf would be a good choice. They can travel in packs or go off on solo lone wolf adventures as they see fit. They're strong, fast, and enjoys the same foods that I usually eat anyway, just without the benefit of cooking. Haha. But if I retain my human knowledge, maybe I could start a fire and cook my meat anyway. That's option A. Florian wants to be a wolf. Option B. Having to be an animal sure would be a terrible fate. No communication, no indoor living, no video games, no supermarket. So which animal sucks less? Probably a bird. At least they are smart. I guess I'd be a crow. That's option B. Do you want me to read option C?
I don't think you need to, but go ahead.
The realm of reincarnation, my friend. If I were to be reborn as an animal, I'd embrace the spirit of the elusive chameleon. Imagine the thrill of blending seamlessly into different environments, adapting to various situations with an air of contrarian finesse. Oh, damn, it's a choice that would allow me to continue my symphony of eccentricity, even in the animal kingdom. So option A is wolf, B is crow, and C is elusive contrarian chameleon.
I'm going with B.
Okay, I gotta ask the chat real quick. Why'd you go with B? What was that one again?
Because I feel like with B or with A, he's saying like he wants to be like a wolf because wolves eat what he eats. But I don't think that's true. I feel like B would make more sense because I thought in a previous question he said he'd be willing to be vegetarian.
Yeah, but he would be willing to go vegetarian. He's not currently one. But I guess, right, he mostly just eats like corn pizza and schnitzel. I don't know if that's a wolf diet.
I'm going with B.
Okay, he's going with crow at B instead of wolf at A or chameleon at C. The chat says 60% B. That's agreeing with you, right, Biggs?
Yeah.
Most people think it's the bird. And most people are correct. It is B. I, of course, wrote the chameleon one, and the AI wrote the wolf one.
Yeah.
I should have done that. I should have, just to trick people, I should have put in like, oh, my friend, blah, blah, all that dumb shit.
That would have given us too easy of a question because then we've been like, oh, these both sound like AI.
Yeah, there's 2 identical AI questions. Okay, final question of the Florian Game Show, even though Biggs has already won. but people are dying to know what Florian's guilty pleasure is. Should we just read off these 3 answers and not give the real one? And it's like this ambiguous ending of the game. People will never know what Florian's true guilty pleasure is. It could be the one that has to do with being a contrarian, for all they know.
But I need to know, because that would mean if I get this one right, I would have gotten 2/3 of the questions right. And
So
the audience,
what you're saying is if people hit the $69 vest goal, they can have the answer revealed, and otherwise it will remain a mystery.
yeah,
Wow! Yep. I'm glad you agreed. Wow,
that's a good idea.
What a game what a tangled web we weave. Okay, let's do it, Biggs. What is Florian's guilty pleasure? Here's option A. My confounding guilty pleasure, my friend, lies in binge-watching old infomercials while sipping the finest Austrian schnapps. The absurdity of late-night pitches combined with the warmth of the spirit. It's a whimsical juxtaposition that tickles my contrarian fancy. Oh, damn, you won't find a more eccentric indulgence in my hermit sanctuary. What do you think of option A, Biggs?
Could be it. Sounds pretty on par.
Option B.
All the buzzwords are there.
I know it's a waste of money, but there are a few girls I subscribe to on OnlyFans. I saw some exercise videos on TikTok and thought, wow, that is really cute girl, and then I saw she sold nudes and I couldn't resist. The worst was when I tipped one of them $40 for a private video, but at least I can go back to it as much as I want. That's option B. Honestly, it should just be the women he's like the sugar babies. That's a pretty guilty pleasure. It should have just been that, right?
Just read the last one.
And option C for Florian's guilty pleasure. Mel Gibson movies. I am sure Mel is a bad guy and his politics hurt everyone, even if they don't realize it and he allegedly beat his wife. But his movies are just amazing and I want to see more of them. Option C. Final question. I'm going to throw it into the chat real quick, Biggs. Go ahead.
I am going to hope it is C. I'm going to say C.
Okay. So Mel Gibson movies are his guilty pleasure?
Because I also love Mel Gibson movies.
So it shouldn't even be guilty.
They're not even a guilty pleasure for me. I just enjoy them outright.
It's a standard pleasure.
Yeah, but I guess with Florian's views, it would be a guilty pleasure because their views are pretty different.
We got a couple super chats while everybody's voting. Mumkey Jones Memorial says, if Florian is going to become the Walt Disney of video games, I'll become the John Kay of video games.
Yeah, somebody replied to that. You can't even commit to a podcast.
So true. Salo Nero threw in 10. So I'll add this towards the vest goal just in case it eventually adds up. Smoking that Florian pack and watching the stream. Thanks for the entertainment, bros. So somebody is evidently getting high as fuck right now, Biggs. Maybe they're in some sort of schizophrenic, paranoid state right now. They smoke too many. And like the things we were saying on the show are hitting them at a deep cerebral level that you cannot possibly comprehend as a sober mind. What do you want to say right now to fuck with them in that deep subconscious state of mind, Biggs?
Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up!
I think the stream crashed for a second, Biggs. Oops. Reconnected. We got reconnected. Let's see if it appears on the stream. They missed a great bit. Okay, yeah. I was trying to fuck with a guy who was high and God punished us and disconnected the stream.
Disconnected us?
For like 10 seconds we were gone.
Maybe I need to wake up. What's going on?
Yeah, I wanted Biggs to say something to fuck with a guy who's too high, and Biggs started yelling "wake up" and the stream died. So welcome back, everybody. We lost about 20 viewers, and it looks like we're dead again. No, it's there. We're good.
Well, chat thinks it's C as well. Do we get to find out?
Yeah, let's end the game before the stream really dies. So Biggs in the chat agree it was C. The answer about what was the question? Guilty pleasure. They said Mel Gibson movies. You were all correct. Mel Gibson movies is the right answer. So, Biggs, what are the final scores of this game show?
Final score is 8-5.
So
I got
Biggs was
8
victorious.
questions right. I got 4 questions wrong. Audience was 5 questions right and 7 questions wrong. So it looks like I know Florian better than the chat does.
Yeah, somebody who does not listen to any podcast I do with Florian knows this man better than the hundreds of people who have listened to literally hundreds, if not thousands, of hours of Florian entertainment. So you guys have wasted your lives. Like, you can't even retain simple knowledge of character. And Biggs just wiped the floor with all of you.
And to Florian, you really shouldn't regard that as a guilty pleasure. Mel Gibson movies are S tier.
Yeah, he thinks Mel Gibson movies are more guilty of a pleasure than prostitution.
Like, if you have to call watching Lethal Weapon a guilty pleasure, that's just pathetic. Those are great movies. Everyone should watch Lethal Weapon.
Biggs, for the next game show we do in this format, and we did have some people say they didn't like it, so maybe we won't do it again unless there's like some support. But who should we do next? We don't have to do Florian. We can ask personal, private questions in this regard to Randy the Wild Horse, Heartsy, Toot, E-Rich, Eggy. Who should be the next one, Biggs? Should we do you and have somebody else play?
True, we could do me, I guess. I think that would be funny. Either me, or I think it would be equally as funny to do Rusty, since I know nothing about him. I don't think we've even ever spoken. But
and I did just chat it up with Rusty yesterday. He wants me to voice a killer squirrel in his next video, and he said that when we record that, we should also do a new Trash Rats. So look forward to that, everybody. Lots of Rusty collabs coming soon. Toot donated $2 to say "do me." That is an option. Okay, it's not an option. Biggs has vetoed it.
It's not an option. I'm vetoing it because they ruined our BoJack podcast. So
that's fair.
You ruined your chances. RBC says Patchy. That could be fun.
Biggs, if we do an episode of you and you do the answers and I do answers pretending to be you, instead of ChatGPT, should we also have your wife answer on your behalf to trick people?
I think she'd be down for that.
And she could post some really embarrassing, cringy shit about you that, maybe like it is also true and correct to answer the question, but it's just not what Biggs wrote.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That'd be funny.
But who would play it then? We'd have to have a guest, and you would be here. I'm not going to do an Austrian accent for you. You could read off all the answers in your voice, and then the contestant will play against the audience.
So maybe I'll do the questions with me and my wife and the ChatGPT, and you do the guessing.
You want ChatGPT to guess which is the real Biggs?
You're going to be guessing. I'll do the...
Oh, you're going to make the whole game. I don't even have to do anything. That's perfect. Yeah, just do it to me.
Just send me the prompts that you used to build the Florian bot, and then I'll do similar with myself. So it's on par, but maybe I'll tweak it so it's not so obvious.
Well, so for the ChatGPT Florian, I just said, I want you to answer the following questions as the character Florian Himzel. And then I said, Florian Himzel is a movie review podcaster famous for his contrarian opinions. He lives like a hermit. I listed out the things that pretty much were repeated in every single answer. So you can create any sort of Biggs you want, it just has to be personal to you.
You should I think it'd be funny if you talked to that bot, since you asked all these questions or whatever and got it kind of fleshed out. You should ask it what its ideal, like, best video game would be. I'm curious to know what it would think.
I would have to reload it and find when I made the game, and that was like 2 months ago.
I mean, if you didn't X out the chat or whatever that you made with it, then it's still there.
Yeah, it'll still be there. It's just I use ChatGPT all the time, so I'm going to have to scroll and find it, but I'm sure I could.
I think that'd be funny.
Yeah, we could play with that on the next stream, because I don't really want to log into that and dig through it right now.